Now at 5, how the Baxter Springs Police Department plans to spend $160,000 in federal funding. Plus, Missouri Southern gives local students and entrepreneurs a chance to pitch their business ideas in a competition. And Frontenac students take a trip to Greenbush to learn some life skills.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Baxter Springs Police Department is receiving more than $160,000 in federal funds. This is KOIM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. KOIM's Fernandez Silva joins us to explain how that money will be used.
The funds will be used for technological upgrades. More specifically, the Baxter Springs Police Department plans to buy 10 body cameras, 6 cameras for their vehicles and other items.
One of the big benefits for the community of the cameras, for example, is transparency.
A transparency that, according to Baxter Springs Chief of Police, can go long ways.
I'll be able to show them that we are doing things the right way for the right reason, and we're not perfect. There are times we might mess up, and if we mess up, we want to be, okay, we messed up, this is what we messed up on, and this is what we're doing to correct it.
He says the cameras can also help prosecutors in the court system.
Now they have video evidence of, for example, if we arrest somebody for drunk driving.
U.S. Senator Jerry Moran supported the federal funding.
The community is safer when the police department is trained and has the tools necessary to do their jobs in the best way. And that also protects the officers themselves. So safety for the police officer, but when they're doing their jobs with the latest technology and the right kind of training, they're not making the mistakes that might cause harm to somebody in the community.
Currently, the police department only has cheaper versions of body cameras, but they don't have cameras in their vehicles.
We're kind of behind the times.
The funding will also help the Baxter Springs Police Department buy new less lethal taser. In Baxter Springs, I'm Fernanda Silva, KOIM News.
Police Chief Brian Henderson expects to have those items in place by mid-summer. Nice spring day out there. Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, we were back to about where we should be for the very end of March. 65 is where we stand right now. Dry in Joplin, 64 in Pittsburgh. So temperature is pretty good. 66 Anderson, 65 in Nevada, 67 in Miami. Parsons is sitting at 66 degrees. It's getting a little breezy out there. The winds are really going to pick up as we go through about the next 24 hours. Look at this. We're going to have gusts 40, pushing 50 at times by the time we head into tomorrow morning, really, and then throughout the day. So we do have a wind advisory in effect for you Friday. Not a whole bunch going on right now. We look pretty good. We are tracking a storm system which will start to affect us by Easter, but at least through the evening we look pretty good. We drop back into the upper 40s. We'll talk about that storm system here in just a bit.
See you soon. Local students today gathered at Missouri Southern to pitch their business ideas. MSSU's Missouri Small Business Development Center hosted the inaugural Pitch Palooza. It was open to any high school or college student, as well as members of the public with an entrepreneurial spirit. Not only was it a chance to get their ideas out there, money was also on the line in the form of scholarships and a Joplin Chamber of Commerce membership.
Because we want people to understand that entrepreneurship is alive and well in the Southwest Missouri area. And it's just to get people used to talking about their business ideas. Maybe it's to make connections. For our college students especially, we want them to understand that entrepreneurship is a well and viable path for them in the future. And we can really get them connected with like-minded folks.
The contest was broken into 4 categories. High school and college students competed for a $1,000 scholarship, while entrepreneurs competed for the chamber memberships. 7th graders from Frontenac Junior High School learned life skills at Greenbush in Girard today. KOIM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Have any questions? The annual Life Skills Day for Frontenac 7th graders means a field trip to Greenbush to learn basic cooking skills.
And I was a little stressed out at first, but so far it seems like it's going pretty well and the kids are enjoying themselves. And we're just teaching them some basic cooking things that they should be able to do on their own.
Usually the Greenbush staff travels to the middle school to teach, but this year, 65 7th graders went to them.
I was like, I was really excited because when they first announced the Greenbush trip, and I was like, okay, what kind are we doing? And they're like, we're gonna go cooking, and I'm just like, are you serious? I love cooking.
Gabe's group started the day making roasted chickpeas and granola from scratch.
It feels like oats. Like it's not wet or anything. Yeah. My mom bakes and then my dad cooks. And I really like cooking. I really like cooking and baking. I'm a lot of an artistic kind of guy. I'm more in arts than sports. So it's not.
The 7th graders aren't just understanding basic cooking, but learning new ingredients as well.
I didn't know, I thought chickpeas were like a nut, not like a seed. I thought they were kind of like a peanut, but I didn't know they were like a seed.
Reporting in Girard, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Definitely a useful life skill and looks like fun to boot. 6th and 8th graders also got off campus. They spent the day touring some departments at PSU. Elementary students in Carthage this week raised money for St. Jude Children's Hospital. It's part of a competition called Penny Wars at Mark Twain Elementary. The teacher or principal whose group raised the most money had the honor of getting slimed today in front of the whole school.
Oh, absolutely. It's for a great cause.
Sure.
St. Jude's is a great research facility, and it's able to do so much for kids. Since I lost my daughter 4 years ago, if I can help do something to keep another family from having to go through that, I would do it in a heartbeat.
The school raised a total of $4,000 through donations from students and staff. Joplin Art Gallery today made a donation to Watered Gardens Ministries. Local Color Art Gallery recently hosted its annual open house and art auction to raise money for an area organization. This year, that organization is Watered Gardens, and today the gallery presented a check for the proceeds worth $1,100.
Many of our artists here also already support Watered Gardens. We have our 2 potters make bowls for their Empty Bowls event. And I think we've just seen the work that they do to help the homeless and in our community, and we wanted to be a part of that.
Local Color Art Gallery is currently partnering with Downtown Gallery of Joplin, raising money for the Joplin Humane Society. Still ahead, why a Missouri family is suing St. Louis County following a police raid. Plus, an update on the status of a medical marijuana bill in Kansas. A family in Ferguson, Missouri is suing a St. Louis County after a SWAT team raided their home by mistake. The lawsuit alleges the police used an Apple tracking feature to trace a pair of Apple AirPods that were inside a stolen vehicle. The tracking brought officers to the family's home. However, the lawsuit claims the AirPods were found outside and not inside that home. Reporter Diamond Palmer has more.
Attorneys provided us with this body cam footage they obtained through a records request, showing the moment St. Louis County Police conducted a SWAT raid in Ferguson on Wyland Court on May 26, 2023.
St. Louis County Police with a search warrant, come to the front door!
They shouted. The shouting lasted about 20 seconds. The lady was in her house in her underwear. She had the baby in the back.
Attorneys Beavis Schock and Eric Veith are representing Lindell Briscoe, Brittany Shamley, and their 5 children. They're suing St. Louis County and the detective who ordered the raid. Police say hours before the raid, a group of 6 people carjacked someone in South St. Louis. A witness told police Apple AirPods were in the car. Police used the Find My application and traced the AirPods to the family's home. The lawsuit says police had the wrong house and the AirPods were later found in the street, not inside the home.
We think the public needs to be aware of how much SWAT is used, what are the circumstances that justify it.
Once inside, SWAT officers demanded Brittany go outside. It took nearly 4 minutes for one of the officers to bring the crying baby outside to its mother. Brittany's husband was in his work truck with 2 of the children at home. Officers also pointed large guns at him.
You can't do every interaction with the police with a SWAT team. That's not fair or reasonable to the public.
And Schock says he wants the case tried.
If we try it, we'll hear the evidence. What's going on with these SWAT teams? Are we going to tolerate this in our community or not?
The family is seeking an unspecified amount of damages for what it says was loss of liberty and unreasonable use of force and seizure. There has not been an immediate comment from St. Louis County. The Kansas Senate is tabling a bill to create a medical marijuana pilot program until next year's legislative session. A bill stuck in committee faced opposition from both pro-marijuana activists and law enforcement officials, though for different reasons. It would have created a 5-year pilot program with a minimum legal age of 21. Activists say that would leave out thousands of adult patients. The director of the Kansas Bureau of Investigation also opposed the legislation, calling it a wolf in sheep's clothing, leading to recreational legalization. A couple of area cities, one in Kansas, one in Oklahoma, are among the cheapest places to live comfortably. A new study from smartasset.com has determined the amount needed to live comfortably in 99 U.S. cities. The cheapest is Houston, Texas, where a single adult needs an hourly wage of $36.10. Tulsa ranks as the 8th cheapest with a necessary wage of $38.98. Wichita follows right behind at 9, needing a wage of just 6 cents more than that. A little bit later, a first of its kind procedure.
A California man is the first person to receive lung and liver transplants at the same time. I'm Bradley Blackburn with how his medical team pulled off a complex and life-saving procedure.
Plus, we're going to continue to warm up and the winds really get moving. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a warmer day for us today. Temperatures right back to where we should be for this time of the year, and it looks pretty good outside right now. Nice shot of Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. We've had pretty much clear skies and we are warming up, but we have a wind advisory in effect tomorrow. The winds are really going to get moving. We're going to have winds gusting 40 upwards to 50 by the time we head into tomorrow afternoon. Temps are good. 63 Monette, Anderson, Bella Vista, mid-60s, 67 in Welch. Iola is sitting at 65. Let's go outside. Here's 7th and Rangeline, 65. Southerly winds at about 10 miles per hour. A few mid and upper level clouds. It's becoming a little breezy out there. We're getting sustained winds, 5, 10, 15 with gusts near 20. But again, these are really going to pick up as we go through the night. So by tomorrow morning into the afternoon, look at this. We're going to have winds gusting 40, 45, may hit 50 at times. It stays windy through tomorrow night. And then as a front kind of sinks in on Saturday, the winds will calm down a little bit, but still going to be pretty breezy on Saturday. Throughout the evening, we slide back through the 40s or the 50s into the upper 40s later on tonight. We have a few clouds kind of sneaking through, but in general, it looks pretty good for us right now. Not a whole bunch is going on. We have a nice ridge of high pressure, which is moving in. That's going to help us warm up as we go through the next couple days. So let's take a look at it. Let's go through the overnight hours. We'll drop back 48 to 50. As we go through the daytime hours tomorrow, we are going to have a lot of mid and upper level clouds, upper 60s by noon, and then during the afternoon, we should go into the mid 70s. So about 10 degrees warmer than what we have seen today. Tomorrow night, windy. We'll only drop off upper 50s. We'll get some clouds in here Saturday morning. We may get a sprinkle or two. And then most of the day, Saturday, looks pretty good. High temps right back up into the mid 70s for afternoon highs. Day planner on your Friday, 54 in the morning, 67 by noon, 71 by 4. High temp, 74 degrees. Let's go into Easter. Easter is shaping up pretty good. I think most of the day is going to be dry. A lot of clouds, 61 in the morning, 73 by noon. 79 by 4 p.m., but a chance for thunderstorms once we get into the evening hours. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. So a little bit of a hot spot. We're going to have a capped atmosphere, which kind of reduces thunderstorms from blowing up. But if we get some of those could be strong on Sunday evening. But it's Monday we really need to watch for because we have a higher risk for severe weather as we get around to storms in the morning and then another one in the afternoon. Heading into the holiday weekend, so let's look at Easter. Starting into the 60s, a lot of clouds, pushing 80 by the time we get into Sunday afternoon. And then here's those thunderstorms Sunday evening that try to pop up. But again, much better shot by the time we head into Monday. 74 tomorrow, 75 on Saturday, 79 on Easter Sunday. We're going to make Monday a possible alert day with that threat for severe weather. and then a big cool down Tuesday and Wednesday. Also want you to notice the last day on the 10-day is Sunday. That is Sunday, April 7th. Storm system moving in. The next day is the eclipse. So we got to watch that. Yeah.
So if there's going to be visibility for that eclipse, it might not be very close.
Very true.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Thanks, Doug. Sam Bankman-Fried learns his sentence. Coming up, how long the former cryptocurrency mogul will spend behind bars for fraud. Doctors in Chicago said they performed the first ever multi-organ transplant on a cancer patient. The recipient was a California doctor with advanced stage lung cancer. Bradley Blackburn has more on the complex and life-saving procedure.
On the treadmill, he's going rogue.
Dr. Gary Gibbon is walking taller just 6 months after receiving 2 new lungs and a liver. Last year, doctors diagnosed the California lung specialist with stage 3 lung cancer.
The irony is not lost on me that as a pulmonologist, allergist, and immunologist, it was shocking to receive a diagnosis of lung cancer.
Gibbon underwent chemotherapy, radiation, and immunotherapy, but the treatments destroyed his lungs and damaged his liver beyond repair. In September, he was flown to Northwestern Medicine in Chicago for life-saving surgery.
Something of this magnitude had never been done in a patient with active cancer.
Dr. Ankit Bharat removed Gibbon's cancer-ridden lungs and transplanted the new ones, taking care to clear his airways and chest cavity of what could be billions of highly resistant cancer cells.
We use some of those same principles that we used in COVID transplants to apply to patients who have those advanced lung cancer, to carefully take those lungs out without spilling even a single cancer cell in the bloodstream.
All the while, Gibbon's donor liver was inside this box, a relatively new technology, supplying the organ with warm, oxygenated blood, keeping it alive until transplantation.
We're in a renaissance of transplantation right now.
Today, Gibbon is cancer-free. Doctors presented him with a new stethoscope to listen to his new lungs.
Anyone who came into contact with me and took care of me is an angel forever in my life.
He just celebrated his 69th birthday and is hoping for many more. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Cancers of the lung are the leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the United States, with more people dying of lung cancer than colon, breast, and prostate cancers combined. Prosecutors call it one of the biggest financial frauds in U.S. history, and now former cryptocurrency mogul Sam Bankman-Fried has been sentenced to 25 years in prison. Before learning his sentence, the 32-year-old apologized for what happened in a packed Manhattan courtroom. Federal grand jury convicted Bankman-Fried last November on 7 counts of fraud and conspiracy for stealing billions of dollars from customers and investors of his crypto exchange. A final check of the forecast next. The CBS Evening News is next, and then CBS coverage of NCAA basketball resumes at 6 this evening. So that means we won't have a 6 p.m. newscast on KOAM, and our late news on KOAM is going to begin a little bit later than usual following tonight's basketball games. However, in the meantime, we invite you to join us for KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Pittsburgh organization hosts a public meeting to discuss celebration plans for the city's 150th anniversary. Plus, the Neosho County, Kansas Health Department hosts a drive-through Easter egg hunt. And it's time for another Thunder Thursday as the team battles to maintain control over the Western Conference. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Pretty nice evening to be outside.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. We're going to slide back through the 60s, 50s, and we'll only bottom out into the upper 40s later on tonight. 74 tomorrow, 75 Saturday. Could get a few thunderstorms on Sunday that could be strong. We're going to make Monday a possible alert day with a severe threat rolling in. But temperatures looking really good, but it's going to be super windy. Wind advisory tomorrow for winds gusting 40 to 50.
Absolutely, positively do not want to be burning anything. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. Again, basketball coverage begins at 6. We hope you'll join us for our late news after the game. So let's make it a great week.